Welcome to the Tech Tarik Show, Lawyer.net's only official podcast. We've been away for an extra week because we were moving office, and welcome to the new studio. You can't see anything. We're actually in a meeting room now instead of the office. You can hear it's slightly quieter, no sirens. Yes. We assume there's less crime.
Yes.
But with me today, I have Chap.
Hello.
And Andrew.
Hi.
So, let's not waste any time. Let's get into the news. Right. So, we've got about 2 weeks to catch up on.
Yeah.
What happened?
Too many. So who's starting?
Too many.
I'll start.
Sure.
No, actually, you should start.
Which one?
Because there's one thing that you and I have both been slightly distracted at work with.
Okay. Hearthstone's new Journey to Angkor expansion. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's amazing.
it is. So, this is the start of the year of the Mammoth, the new competitive cycle for Hearthstone. And 3 sets have cycled out. Angoro is the new set. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's interesting.
Well, there are a lot of complaints from free-to-play players basically saying that, oh, it's too expensive now. I can't create a competitive deck. Because the new mechanic, the quest, the legendaries, so it's much more difficult to actually get your hands on one, and that's like the central theme of Year of the Mammoth for now.
I'm a free player.
Yeah.
You are a free player.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, neither of us are having this problem.
I mean, provided I can only focus on 1 or 2 decks, but I'm having a lot of fun.
But if you're a free-to-play player, you're not a so-called competitive player anyway. So 1 or 2 decks is fine.
True. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it.
I enjoy it tremendously.
Trying to hit legend, but we'll see.
Yeah, my only problem with Angoro is it comes at the same time as Overwatch's current event, so it's kind of overlapping, and I can only play 1 game at a time.
Thankfully, I only have Hearthstone.
No? Listen, Blizzard, you need to stagger these things out.
All right, it's from the same developer.
Exactly. Okay, so that's that. Chap, do you have anything going on?
Sure. It's fairly uneventful 2 weeks for me, to be honest. There are a couple of things from our friends at the telcos. For example, U-Mobile actually launched. They have 2 new plans. One is available this week, and with another one to be available on 17 April. So 17 April is that the time where the podcast gonna go out?
17th April today.
So, yeah,
we're recording this on the 14th. Yes, it will be up when this podcast goes live.
Yes.
So, okay, I know nothing about these two plans. Enlighten me.
Okay, so basically the idea between these 2 plans is part of their hero postpaid lineup. So is for the first one, which one they launch this week. This week means by the time when you hear this podcast will be previous week already. So the P38 is just like the name, is 38 ringgit per month. The idea is that you get for that it's very affordable per month. You get unlimited calls, to all network. So on top of that, you also will be given 4 GB of internet, and there's also the unlimited music ons, unlimited app ons. Yeah, so
the selling point of these plans is unlimited calls. This
unlimited
is
calls.
big.
Yes, that's big. The big push, I guess.
Yeah. So, does that really matter? I mean, unlimited calls. How many calls do you make? Do you really worry about calls these days?
That's maybe for us, people that really love, instead of calling, we messaging and all. But I mean, in general, that's where the market heading. A lot of telco actually admitted that they have to be data driven these days rather than voice driven. But in general, I still say that there is there are some. They should attract some people to it. You know?
Because to be fair, I think this is the cheapest plan that offers unlimited call on any telco.
I'm not too sure on that. We have to fact check on that, but in general, 38 ringgit per month for unlimited call. Yeah,
It's not bad, but
it's really cheap. You know.
But, for me, it's like we have so many options already for calls. You don't necessarily have to use the call function. WhatsApp calls, Telegram calls.
I'm thinking of like people in their 40s or 50s who for some reason prefer traditional phone calls.
Exactly. There are still
That could be. So
like
this phone calls is to other telcos. So does it include landlines?
All network it should. I'm not sure about that, but I think it should be landlines too.
I mean, because if it includes like landlines, the telecoms landlines, then Andrew is right. You could be calling, say, your grandparents who don't have smartphones.
But people, I mean, even like grandparents. I mean, these days some grandparents were given smartphone.
Yeah, some grandparents, they really pick up on that stuff. It's ridiculous.
They didn't pick up smartphones, but rather that maybe their grandchildren or their children give those phones to them. So these are older folks that still rely on voice call, and I don't know. Some people, to be honest, some people still prefer phone call. I, for one, still prefer phone call when it comes to important stuff. Rather than messaging.
It's important, something urgent, you kind of make a phone call, you don't message.
Exactly. Oh well, just now I also did mention there's another plan. That will be the P48, which is 48 ringgit per month. That one will give you the same thing, except that the data allocation will be bigger at 5 gig, and there's also the customer will also able to get video ons with 5 gig of data.
That's good.
That's not bad.
5 gig of video thing
per month. It's not really that bad.
If you watch iFlix at very low quality, yes, it helps. Or you watch mainly YouTube at low quality, it helps. But 5 gig. Just make sure that you don't go HD or full HD with that. You will finish it.
No. Everyone's gone HD. This is the HD generation. Sorry, man. It has to be HD or
5
bust.
gig is not enough, man. For just HD.
I suppose if you're on these like kind of budget plans, you're gonna have to be a bit more careful with your data spending. Be more. Don't just go out there. You don't have much money. You're getting what you're paying for.
Oh, by the way, it's stated here in the chat, in the table that for both plans, ways you can use unlimited data. So at least you don't need to worry about getting lost. So
that's all right.
Yeah.
So it's Waze, but not Google Maps.
No. I don't think so. It's stated specifically Waze.
What?
Yeah, but I think this is something that U-Mobile has announced before, and a lot of people pointing out that Waze doesn't really take a lot of data.
Yeah,
but
it doesn't.
Nevertheless, at least if you're on these budget plans, you're well aware that you will not get lost.
You have very little. You don't have much data to begin with, so every little bit helps, I guess.
True. All right.
Also, I like Google Maps.
I like Google Maps, so.
I use both, so I'm fine. Both are very good services, so it's interchangeable. I guess Waze is for me when I'm in a vehicle, while Google Maps is more like traffic or transit. So,
it's interchangeable because they're both owned by the same company.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
They are owned by the same company.
They just feed each other information.
Exactly. You see, sometimes I even forget that
you kind of want to think of them as competitors, but they're not.
True enough.
Anyway, on the telco front,
there's another one.
Celcom also had something up.
Okay, Celcom. Actually, it was announced on the same day as the new U-Mobile P38 and P48. The Celcom is, but for Celcom, this is for their higher end plan. The Hero. My bad. The Celcom First Gold Plus and Celcom First Platinum. It's basically in a way it's a revamp of their supplementary policy.
Okay.
Basically, if you have supplementary plan underneath you, at least two people underneath you, so now you're able to share your data to everyone.
So it's just allowing you to share your data with supplementary lines.
Yes. Then if you choose to use that, it's a feature called GB Share.
Okay.
Don't laugh.
Literally
Nah.
GB share.
literally GB share. So they combine. I mean, if you are standalone data, you have weekend and you have weekday data. So now they combine it into one pool, and then once you activate the feature and you have the supplementary line, which they call GB share line, underneath you, with each line there will be they will add more data to it, like 2 gig. So
Okay.
your total pool will be bigger as the number of supplementary line underneath you become bigger. But for the Gold Plus, they said the maximum amount of GB share line that you can underneath you is 2. If you want to go more than that, you need to upgrade to the first platinum, which allows you to have as maximum at 5 GB share line underneath.
Okay, so how much? So these are just the regular plans with additional extended benefits.
Yes, yeah, extended benefits. If you you share your line with
Yeah, but I
group
think
of family.
they got supplementary lines, but they're giving you 2 extra gigs, and your supplementary lines are obviously going to be a bunch of kids.
Oh no, maybe a bunch of friends, your
Really? Your
family members.
Okay,
Really, you've seen this happen in our office, right?
yes, I was about to say, who would do that? Then I realized where I work.
Yeah. So the idea is that you because previously you can't do that. If the supplementary line, I mean for Telcom at least, I'm not sure about the other telco, but for Telcom previously, if you supplementary line, you get your own data quota.
Yes.
Yes, right.
That's usually the case.
If you principal, that's the normal case.
Yeah.
As a principal, you can't throw data to your supplementary line. So the supplementary line need to buy the additional data pass.
Yeah,
or things
on their
like
own,
that.
right?
Yeah. So with the GB share, you as the principal, you control.
You control
You
everything.
can
and
control,
you
yes.
dole it out bit by bit.
Yeah, exactly.
So I suppose this is probably a bit better for parents trying to control how much internet their kids are using.
Exactly.
I
yeah.
guess
In a family.
setting, yeah, I can
scenario,
see. I can see you losing friends if you do this with friends. Hey man, pass me a bit more data, and like, no, you used up all of it already. There's none for anyone else. This is how you lose friends.
Andrew,
Why are you laughing?
that?
Why are you laughing?
I don't know.
I don't know, Andrew. Why are you laughing at this? This sounds like personal experience. But yeah, this idea sounds pretty good actually.
Okay, it's not from what I heard. I don't know for sure, because I wasn't ready with the knowledge from the other telcos. But if I'm not mistaken, this is not the first telco that have it. I believe that the previous other telcos already have such offering before, where data can be shared among groups.
Mixes that with the, I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah, I still recall.
Data pool or something?
Yeah, I remember that this has happened before.
Yeah,
but
I'm using the plan. I forgot what it was.
Exactly. So
he's incriminated himself right now.
Anyway, I mean, for those listening to this, you can actually come visit our site. In the article itself, Celcom actually have a comparison table with other telcos when it comes to data sharing, so you can check it out in the articles. Anyway, with the GB share, so basically, the benefits that the principal line already have, for example, like unlimited calls to all network and unlimited WhatsApp and WeChat, the GB share line or the supplementary line all get that as well.
Nice.
So
That's pretty good. Not bad.
Yeah. So in general, so basically it really focus on the group data sharing feature. So yeah, but you'd have the only thing that I can critique about it is just the amount of line that you needed to actually activate the feature. You need at least 2. So basically,
Well, have 2 kids.
yeah, if
Easy
you have 2
enough.
kids, fine. So basically,
No
you have
problem.
in general that's 3 lines already. So if with the platinum, so you have 6 lines. So that's a lot of lines. Yeah.
It should be alright, I
and
guess.
it is not available. Let's say you and just your wife. You need to be there's another third person.
Yeah, so I have a kid. Easy enough.
Oh, that's
You and your wife just have a kid.
so. How old your kid gonna be? You're gonna give a smartphone to your kid?
2 years old. They learn fast these days.
Wow.
Anyway, we'll move on from that. I've got a piece of interesting news. Not so much on the telco or anything, but Grab and MDEC have signed an agreement with the World Bank Group to share traffic data. And what they're doing is they're using the data that Grab accumulates from its drivers, from its riders, about transit, how long it takes to go from place to place, where traffic jams occur. They're taking all of that information, they're uploading it to a database, and they're making it open source.
Okay.
So this open traffic agreement, it's an international thing, so anyone will be able to access it when it's fully functional, supposedly in September. But the idea here is that they're saying governments have trouble collecting traffic data because the infrastructure for it is expensive. You need to go out, you need to hire people to do it.
I don't really. That's a weird thing because I thought our government have a department that does.
They do, but they're saying, Grab does this more efficiently because they can get it real time. They've got so many users, they've got so many drivers. They said, you know what? Why don't we just use our data? Okay. So we're going to share it with you. Grab is the regional partner in Southeast Asia. So they've actually shared information with the Philippines government as well. And they've been working in the island of Cebu to organize traffic and just try and make things smoother. And they're going to try to do it here as well, here in Malaysia. So the idea is, this is open source, so everyone will be able to access it. So you can submit your request, say, I'm a researcher, I'm someone concerned, I'm a journalist, I would like to take a look at your traffic data.
Sounds good.
And they're going to, I think they're going to make it into a kind of visual thing where you can just look at a map and easy to process.
Okay.
Because Grab and MDEC will do all the processing of raw data.
Okay.
So not only will you be able to see where the problems are, the government will be able to see it, and hopefully they'll be able to streamline all these problems.
Okay.
That's all our dreams.
Well, that's the thing. I think it's in a way that's a start. That's accessible data for everyone. But on the other hand, can public see it?
Yes, because it's open source.
It's open source, but how can public see it? Does Grab have a plan to here's a portal, now you can see?
So MDEC is helping work on this portal.
Cool.
But I think you need permission. You just have to request for permission.
Right.
It's not gonna be allowed, everyone to group hug the site to death.
Exactly. Okay. So that's the thing. Well, I hope that someone have if there's things need to be improved, someone need to notice it first and hopefully raise the voice to the appropriate places and all, to actually fix those problems. So it's a start that the data is more accessible. But on the other hand, does the government people say that we gonna cross check the data we grab so that
this data comes from Grab.
Yeah, the data comes from Grab. Pretty sure the government have their own data.
Yeah, so this is not they're going to use only Grab's data. They're going to this adds on to what they have.
Okay.
So they've got their own thing. They've got their own data collection. So and they can look at Grab. So I actually asked, how often is this database? How often are your traffic stats being updated? And this open traffic thing will be updated every 6 seconds.
Okay.
It will be collected so much faster than what the government can do at the moment. But that being said, this is just about data collection and sharing.
Exactly.
You are not going to get a fix within 2 months, 1 month. This is a long-term project. You're looking
those data,
at least a year before you see any improvements.
Those data need to be analyzed anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So this is the first step in a very, very long journey.
At least it's starting.
That's why exactly what I said. It's a good start.
So
somewhere.
Yeah, this is not just Malaysia. This is around the world. Ride-sharing services are saying, "Hey, we collect data better than you. So why don't you use some of ours?" So in the US, I think Uber is trying to get it on with the US government, but Uber's deal with the US government is not part of the World Bank's program.
Okay.
So the World Bank is instead working in places like Africa, Asia, South America, where it's a bit harder to collect data. The governments don't have as much infrastructure.
Right.
Oh, by the way, you mentioned that they have done this in island of Cebu, right?
Yep.
Philippines. So how's the success rate over there?
Still too early though. They only started middle of last year.
Right. Okay.
So
Okay.
still too early. They're saying that there's slight improvements, but
How? I mean, by they said slight improvement. How they did it then?
it's just
I mean, within 6 months, then there is a slight
so
improvement.
the idea
That's
is that
interesting.
if you can get all you need to do is maybe adjust a few traffic lights.
Yes. Yeah.
Maybe there's certain traffic hazards that are bottlenecking at certain areas.
Uh-huh.
Maybe you just need to put a freaking traffic cop in one place to smoothen things out.
Okay.
So it's just small increments.
Alright. Within
Yeah.
6 months, that's alright.
It's not a massive improvement, but it's a small improvement, and they're going fine. Maybe we'll see it here soon enough.
So the big
Hopefully.
point,
Yeah.
the,
So-
still
Yeah.
the big point is like gotta start somewhere.
Yeah. And the idea is so the more cities in Malaysia Grab expands to, the more data the Malaysian government will have, which is that kind of thing. So Andrew, what else do you have?
We also have something that was just announced today, this Friday. The HTC U Ultra receives a price drop.
Haha.
It's been like what, a month or so? since it
I'm
was
tempted to do a mocking laugh, but
launched? Oh, come on.
I'll be kind this time. So wait, how much was it? How much was it being sold for before this price drop?
Before this was 2,999, which is 3,000 ringgit.
2,999.
Yeah. So right now it's 2,599 ringgit. So that's a 400 ringgit price drop.
That's a huge price drop in
Yes.
what, a month?
More than 10%.
That's it. And it's a flagship. So
Okay, well, okay. Let's just be honest for a moment. The U Ultra is a terrible phone.
Not terrible.
No, compared to every other flagship out there, compared to its price point, nobody's gonna buy this.
I don't
in
think
terms
so.
of value to performance, I lean towards the OnePlus 3T, but I would say in terms of design, the U Ultra is really nice. So,
But
eh.
okay, you reviewed the U Ultra.
Mhm.
Really, 2,999? Would you?
2,999 no.
No.
But
2,599?
2,599, it's like it's not bad. I mean, if you like the design, if you're okay with the so battery, I think you'll be happy with it.
I think
You were the guy who was that I remember a couple of episodes ago that you were talking about. You like efficient use of space.
Yes.
This is the least efficient use of space I've ever seen.
Yes, but it's a pretty phone. Like everywhere I go, they were like, "Oh, that's a nice phone. What phone is that?" Well, HTC.
I think it's because of the striking blue that they gave you.
That's one thing.
or is it the mirror finish that you
Also
like?
that. I mean, honestly, it looks really nice.
I don't
really,
like-
really like the
hate
design.
mirror finish, but
Same here. I didn't like because
Yeah.
the U Ultra we had was metallic blue.
Yeah, something like that.
No, it looked cheap.
I
What?
like the blue. I like the
No, I did not.
I like the color shade,
It
but I still hate the.
it reminds me of
mirror
Pasar Malam toy.
What?
No.
Okay,
Okay,
yeah,
it
it's
feels
still,
good. Feels premium.
No,
It
not
looks
not
premium
not
for
holding
me.
it, but the finishing that mirror finish blue chrome
I like
blue.
it.
I don't.
It's classy. That's
It's
not
just
like-
bad
it's not
memory.
classy. Wow.
No,
Oh, quiet
your
taste.
definition of classy.
Definitely.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Quiet taste.
I would place it on the same level as a Honorix glass design. Yeah,
That's not saying much.
that's
I
nice
still
too.
like
come
glass.
on. But yeah, I mean,
It's glass.
at the end of the day, I still think it's a very beautiful phone. Just that it's the battery capacity and the size could have been smaller, but all in all,
You mean the
2006, you could do much worse.
You mean bigger batteries, better usage of space?
Yeah, I mean it's a huge phone. It only has a 3,000 mAh battery, but let's not go there.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
no, we should go there. That's the entire reason this price drop came about.
Probably. I mean,
It's-
honestly,
that's the thing.
3,000 ringgit was too much for the phone. But
Really?
I mean, yeah, I mean,
I still think it's pushing it.
821.
Because it's 821, so I was like 821 for just
Okay, well, okay.
barely 3,000 is not. it's not
Admittedly, since the prices of flagship phones is slowly creeping up, it's gone past the
Exactly,
3,000
yes.
mark.
Exactly.
Yeah, Samsung has realized this that they have the right to go past 3,000,
Yeah.
and once they've done that, everyone's gonna start following them.
Yeah. I mean,
So-
to be fair, Apple started the whole thing.
To be fair, Apple never gave a shit.
Yeah.
It's like, listen, this is how much it costs. It's gonna cost you an arm and a leg. Take it or
Yeah.
leave it.
And people are willing to cut off their arms and legs.
It's surprising, isn't it?
But that being said, you know that the S8 and S8 Plus pre-order sold out, right?
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Exactly. And at the very least, that those two phones in Malaysia is actually cheaper than Singapore.
Yes.
The S8 Plus in Singapore, after conversion, costs more than 4,000.
So then let's put it this way. So how many Singaporeans are coming here to buy it?
I have no idea.
Some of the pre-orders probably them.
Yeah, because we're not getting it that late either.
It's
Yeah.
getting it quite fast.
Yeah, the S8 is what, a week or two after the US Wave 1 launch?
I think
In
it's
the US it's April 21st. We're getting it 4th of May for those who pre-order and 5th of May for those that are not pre-ordering it.
So
So
yeah.
what, just over a week?
Yeah.
That's
Very
honestly
fast.
very
Like,
fast for
We're
it.
actually one of the first batches of people who are getting the S8.
Which would explain why,
Same
if
for
you're
previous
Singaporean,
Galaxy as
why
well.
not?
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
But-
that's our next news.
Yeah, speaking of the Galaxy S8,
S8's price. So the Galaxy S8 is, as Farhan says, they're going over 3,000 ringgit barrier. 3,299 for the S8 and 3,699 for the S8 Plus. These are very expensive phones.
Yet sold out for
Yeah.
pre-order.
yeah, okay, anytime somebody tells you that the economy is bad, please show them this.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
It's like, oh, 3,600 for a phone, no problem.
If it's Galaxy, if it's iPhone, yes.
So,
We sold out.
I haven't used it.
But
No, but Bang's used it.
Yeah.
He's not here, unfortunately, to tell us whether it's worth 3,600 ringgit.
yeah. Based on reports though, I would say maybe not the S8 Plus, but the S8. I mean, aside from the size difference, they have the same camera,
Really?
same display resolution. Just that this is the S8 is smaller and a slightly smaller battery, but I mean it's a smaller phone, so I would say probably almost equivalent battery life.
Hard to say, really.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Like
We kind of
the
need both phones,
benefit for it.
and Samsung traditionally doesn't give us both phones for review at the same time.
Yeah, but anyway, 3000 mAh battery on the S8 has a 5.8 inch display, and S8 Plus 3500 mAh for a 6.2 inch display. But it sounds big, but the thing is, yes, it's a different aspect ratio. So the effective display area is actually much smaller than a typical 6.2 inch phone. So, say 5.8 inch in this aspect ratio, 18.5 by 9, I think.
Yeah,
Such a
it's-
weird ratio.
It really was a very weird ratio,
So
but
it's like probably a 5 inch, 5.1 inch phone equivalent around there. So
Bang was defending this because he was explaining what Samsung was doing with it. And I kind of see where they're going. I don't kind of see where they're going.
yeah, but well,
Yeah. Oh, but the other big selling point for the S8 was supposedly their AI assistant Bixby.
right. Okay, so you're
Yeah.
gonna talk about this.
Yes, I am going to bring this up.
Bixby, yeah.
Yeah, so Bixby is their new fancy new AI assistant. It's got a dedicated physical button for activating it. It will do everything the Google Assistant does and more,
Almost everything, I think.
except one thing. It will not be available on launch date.
Yeah.
Okay, so Chapree,
What that means?
what that means is Samsung issued a statement saying that Bixby, in English, I believe the Korean version is working, the English version of Bixby is not ready for the global launch
Huh.
and will not be ready until late spring.
Wow.
So the earliest we're going to see it is sometime in May.
That's
No.
pretty far.
Yeah, considering that the US is getting what, 21st April?
Yeah.
So they guaranteed will not see it at launch.
To be fair, you still have Google Assistant anyway, so
No, but here's the thing. Bixby is supposed to be their killer app.
yeah.
This is the big thing.
Does it feel that way when it was
I don't know.
announced?
Yeah, it kind
they,
of-
they did a dedicated presentation for
Yeah,
it for
they're
what,
huge.
Yeah,
15, 20 minutes?
They did, but I don't.
No,
I don't
because
feel like it. You know, I don't feel like
This
it's
is
a big
their
deal.
answer to Siri. This is their answer to Google Assistant.
Huh.
So
Yeah.
so nobody knows when it's going to finish. This is the US version. The English-speaking world will not see Bixby until much later.
Well, did they mention whether? I mean, okay, you take example like Cortana,
Yeah.
where it was launched according to the region because specific region, not just English speaking.
Yeah, so Cortana was released region by region.
Because of the local language. That's why.
Yeah.
even Malaysia, even people in Malaysia can speak English, they still haven't released it for Malaysia.
Yeah, because of localization, right?
Because of localization, yes.
No, they haven't said anything about that. They just said the English version, the version that can understand English. So even if you speak English, Bixby is still kind of iffy on it at the moment.
Huh.
So the good news is though that the Bixby button on the Galaxy S8 can be reassigned.
Yes.
So you might as well do it.
Not officially, no. You need to download an app for it, but it doesn't require routing. So by right, any person who knows how to read instructions can do it.
Yeah. So everyone's going to reassign it to Google Assistant.
I know I will.
Yeah, it's because
You
it's your.
can reassign to any app that you want.
So I think we're done with news. We've gone a bit over time for what we were expecting.
Well, we had 2 weeks of news to catch up.
Yeah, we do, and there's still a bit more we haven't had time to cover as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but next segment we're going to talk to Chap about Ryzen 5.
Ryzen 5.
Yeah, Ryzen again.
Huh.
Yep.
Last time we talked about Ryzen 7, now it's Ryzen 5.
Yeah. So we'll be back in after this break. So, Ryzen 5 specifically.
Ryzen 5.
What's it like? I mean,
What is it like? Okay, we've been testing Ryzen 5 for the past a week or so. It's what to say? It because we're still doing the review, so what I personally still don't have the conclusion for it yet. But let's just discuss a bit on what AMD hope it to be. AMD targeting the Ryzen 5 to the 1080p gamers.
okay.
Which is rather interesting.
That's not exactly wrong because 1080p is the biggest subsection at the moment.
I'm not sure about that, but the idea is 1080p, so that also means the same around the same target market as Intel's Core i5. So basically, Ryzen 5 is the direct competitor to Core i5.
Which is not surprising. It's what everyone assumes.
Yeah.
5, Ryzen 5, i5. That's,
Indeed.
directly compete. Let's go for it.
Yeah. But on the other hand, the Ryzen 5 is unlike Ryzen 7, which as you can recall from what we've been doing, what our review released, the performance of the high-end desktop market, but at the half of the price of what Intel's asking.
Yeah.
Ryzen 5 don't really have that advantage in terms of pricing.
So it's roughly priced the same as the
It's
i5.
roughly priced the same, especially in Malaysia. In Malaysia, though, we will have the chart in our review.
Mm-hmm.
From what I've seen, of course, depending from who you're buying the Intel processor from, the AMD chips actually cost a bit more. I'm not sure because it's new, but the thing is, the AMD processor, the Ryzen 5, pretty much the Ryzen 5, Ryzen 7, the price have been set by AMD,
But
which is really unprecedented.
I remember seeing this chart as you were making it, but the price difference isn't really that great.
Really doesn't.
It's
yeah,
a small difference.
It's it depends on who you ask.
There's-
Some people think $50 is big a difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, some
Really, yeah.
people think $100 different is not that much. So it depends.
suppose
Anytime
it
I think suppose you, but in general they are not that much different. I think it will actually less than 100 ringgit.
But so the real question here then becomes: so it's slightly more expensive, but
Yes,
is it also slightly better?
that remains the same thing from Ryzen 7, where certain things are better, certain things are not. In
Okay.
terms of so far, because at the moment we actually haven't get to try the gaming part, but I've seen the performance in like the productivity and creative software. It works really well. If you take CD Bench, especially in multi-core, clearly the Ryzen, even the Ryzen 5, I'm not sure because we don't have Ryzen 3 yet. So far Ryzen 5 in terms of multi-core performance, it's exactly the same like Ryzen 7.
So
in general, it's pretty much very good in multi-core in applications that take advantage of multi-core. In fact, like for the Cinebench R15, it actually 2 times faster than the Core i5 7600K
Wow.
That's what AMD said. That's the direct competitor. So, yeah, it's double. But there's the thing. If you get our review, if you have to see closely how both chips are set up. The Ryzen 5, the one that we currently review, the 1600X, which have 6 core, 12 thread. Then you're comparing it with the i5 7600K, which have quad core and quad thread, not even HT. So they are really set up very different.
Oh, so they're really comparing against the no hyper-threading. This is like
no hyper-threading. The i5 have no hyper-threading.
This is just bare raw power.
Yes, quad. Yeah.
Wow.
So that's the thing. But that's in terms of that's what the Cinebench is one example of a
But I'm not correct. Then the single core performance isn't quite as good.
Single core, yes. Single core, that's the thing. Interestingly, the single core performance was actually behind the Core i5 chip, but not far off.
Well,
at least that's in terms of the reference number they gave us. So that's the
not
thing.
too bad, I guess. But
but again, it's the same. It gives the same impression from the Ryzen 7, where multi-core performance is really good. Single core, it depends.
I suppose. If single core is good enough, they're going to get the market they want.
Yeah, that's the thing. But on the bigger picture, the target market is 1080p gamers. So yeah, in gaming, games is not known to take advantage of multi-core.
No, they don't. There's like one core, so
it's more like clock speed.
But also at that level, 1080p, wouldn't you be more worried about your GPU really?
That's the thing. When it comes to gaming, you're always worried about GPU. So,
unless you're running on like a bare minimum i3, I don't think you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, exactly right. So that's the thing. Even if you're running on Core i3, which to be honest, the Core i3 actually clock quite fast.
Yeah.
Right. So if you, there will be bottleneck if you use a graphic card is too high end. There will always be bottleneck when.
But if your graphics card is too high end, what the hell do you want on
exactly.
i3?
Hey,
that's the thing.
Money spent on graphics card, not enough for CPU. It happens.
Wow.
When does it happen?
You'll be surprised.
Andrew, are you speaking from experience again?
I build my system very carefully.
So you get your priorities very wrong.
No, it's very balanced. If I get this, I get this.
Yeah, that's the thing. Everyone should aim for that. Very balanced. For a very balanced system for the worth of your money.
Yeah, because you don't want to bottleneck somewhere.
Exactly, but at the very least, we learned that the Ryzen 5 doesn't bottleneck.
That's not bad,
because our system we use 1080.
Yep.
Then we see that the graphic card actually churn out the same amount of performance when we compare to our Ryzen 7 system. The only difference is only in the CPU segment of this is actually a 3D Mark test. We only see the difference in the CPU results. So it shows that, I guess the way I see it, I guess the graphic card doesn't bottleneck on Ryzen 5.
So I'm assuming that it probably depend on the kind of game you want to run.
Yeah.
So if there's like a lot of physics, maybe a lot of units on the field at the same time, then you'll probably start to feel it after a while.
So Witcher 3?
No, not so much Witcher 3. I'm thinking more Total War.
I'm thinking of Hairworks.
Hairworks is a GPU problem.
Hairworks is an NVIDIA thing.
Yes.
So, yeah.
It's something that NVIDIA came up with to make your graphics card work worse.
Yeah, NVIDIA is... If Hairworks, we only to test it on a very high-end NVIDIA cards. Yeah, so that's at least the way we've been experiencing, it's like, okay, Hairworks are beautiful and all, but why we need to turn it on when we want to have a good frame rate?
Yes.
Yeah. Even when we are running on GTX 1080.
The 1080 Ti, you lose like 9 frames per second. Yeah, it's not worth it. No, but yeah, that's saying.
Of course, some people love to see beautiful hair when they play Witcher 3, but...
Hey, that's probably why heroes are bald nowadays.
Yeah, same with Hairworks.
Hey.
But that's the thing. When it comes to Ryzen, I really suspect that it will struggle on maybe RTS games where you have a lot of units moving around. There's a lot of physics to calculate at the same time.
Struggle, I think.
To be fair, RTS games are not that demanding.
Because it's single core processor.
RTS demanding.
Have you?
Processor.
No, okay, not StarCraft.
Okay, what do you have in mind other than StarCraft?
Total War.
Yep.
Okay, I have no idea what games are.
Okay, you've never played the Total War series. StarCraft never has this many. Total
StarCraft
War.
is old.
Yeah.
Okay.
Very, very
So
old.
if you get something like newer, like the Total War Warhammer,
Yep.
you could be potentially seeing maybe 10,000, 20,000 models on the field at the same time.
That's a bit too much, no?
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Total War, you know.
But that's why I'm saying, controlling all these models, keeping track of all these models may cause a sluggish performance.
Okay.
Okay.
But I don't think we've tested it that way.
Because we never tested with Total War, but nevertheless the reference figure that we have passed is actually using Ashes of Singularity, another another new RTS. It actually is actually slightly behind Intel. Actually, all the reference figures that AMD passed us, most of it are actually behind Intel, but not that much. It's like, for example, the Ashes is only 3 FPS behind, so they are within the same.
More or less the same.
So
more or less the same.
I assume that it's this is doing what the AMD thing is. We're not as good, but we're good enough.
Yes, exactly. This is and again, this is the same. The same thing, same scenario that we have with Ryzen 7.
Yeah, I remember this.
They can perform. There is actually real on par with Intel, but they are just not the best.
Yeah, but I remember this because they were saying, this multi-core performance is great for like people who multitask.
Yeah.
Streamers especially.
Streamers, yes, and
so they really like streamers because of the multi-core performance.
Exactly. So this is what
you can stream and not be affected.
Yeah. So when you play a game 1080p, then you stream at the same time.
Yeah.
So again, that's apparently the best scenario when it comes to Ryzen. The people that does this might want the Ryzen.
But is there really that many people who are doing this? I mean,
surprisingly, yes.
Streaming, game streaming.
Yes. I personally have a couple of friends that does that.
Huh.
I'm not sure because I play. For some of us like me and you, we play games very young at a young age.
Yeah.
So we're basically quite old these days. And when we see people streaming on Twitch and all, we don't have the allure to do the same thing.
Yeah, because
but maybe these new folks. I'm not sure about Andrew.
What?
Are you young enough? When you
I think he wants the attention enough.
Do you have the intention when you see people live stream their game? Do you feel want to do the same thing too?
I like watching streams of games, but as for to actually stream, I would say depends on the game. Like if I'm playing Uncharted or like single player games,
But you
I
still
usually
have the
won't.
intention, right?
I mean,
No, but it's still, maybe I can, maybe I should.
Yeah.
And especially because so many of these games are building social functions into them
Exactly,
anyway.
Exactly. So yeah,
50-50, I guess.
Because and on the other hand, because you see those people that actually does this become a personality, a big personality themselves.
Maybe.
And then they have fans, and these fans, when you're a fan, you want to do what your idol doing as well at times. So that's
possibly.
why the growth
Yeah.
of streaming.
Actually, you know what? It'd be a great test if you just like take the chip. Hearthstone is very good at this because Blizzard has integrated streaming straight to Facebook.
I did not know this.
You didn't? Yes, they have. That's the streaming icon right there in the Battle.net launcher.
Well,
Maybe once we're done with it, maybe we should transfer and
we should take a look.
Then we should ask you to do the test system with stream. And anyway, AMD actually provide me one of these stats from Twitch. They say that in 2016, there's 2.2 million Twitch broadcasters.
wow.
So that's 2016 last year. Compared to 2012, they only have 0.3 million, which is around 300,000. So that's a huge increase. So
That's
it shows that this thing.
That's a big market, actually.
Yeah, it's a big market. I'm not sure. Maybe it's too early to talk about its longevity, but there's 2.2 million people broadcasting things.
yeah, and
That's a lot.
and there's a lot of people who like multitasking on their computers anyway. You put a game on, you listen to music,
Exactly.
stuff running, multi-monitor setups with all your other crap.
That's another thing that exactly what I think the AMD would like to position the Ryzen 5 with, just like the bigger brother Ryzen 7, as a chip that's not only you buy for gaming. but for other stuff that you might be doing.
Which makes sense though.
It does make sense, yeah. Because I mean, it's the same price, but okay, you can use it for other applications as well. So basically, if you buy the Core i5, you have 4 core, 4 thread. But if you get the Ryzen, then the 1600X give you 6 core, a bit more, and 12 thread, even more thread.
Yeah.
So some applications are able to get used to it. And again, previously AMD said that they are working with developers to optimize applications and games for Ryzen. So things might get better along the way.
They should. I mean, they've got a lot of experience anyway
exactly.
with their GPUs as well.
But of course, whatever we said here, these are all usually just, what do you call it?
This is what we call baseless speculation right now.
Right now, we don't know in what happened in a few months' time. Because for example, Intel released their chip a while ago. You don't know we don't know right now what's gonna happen in the second half of the year. Especially Intel feel a little bit burned from what AMD been doing with Ryzen. We don't know what's there in second half of the year.
Yeah, we're gonna find out. Yeah.
Hopefully we see something. We will see or hear something in Computex, the usual place. That would be end of May. That's like next month.
Next month.
Yeah.
So we'll wait out for that one. Anyway, I think we're out of time for the Ryzen right now.
So again, you can catch up with the Ryzen 5 with our review.
When is our review coming out?
Very soon. You can. I think by the time this podcast online, you should be able to see the 1600X. If not within the next day, and right after, soon after that will be the 1500X.
Cool.
So yeah. So the story of Ryzen, there will still plenty of Ryzen story coming throughout the year anyway. So yeah.
Cool. Okay. So take another break. Then we'll be right back with our last big story feature of this podcast. Right, so Chap has switched out. We now have Tarik.
Hello guys, it's been a while.
It has. So there's only one thing you really come on to talk about, and that's esports, the Dota 2 scene. And we brought you on here because we haven't spoken about this in a while.
Yeah.
And I think the scene has changed quite a bit in Malaysia, especially with Fnatic not being a wholly Malaysian team anymore.
Yeah. So, I mean, like even with Asia Pacific University recently, they had that course.
Yeah, right.
Few courses, right, for esports. And then they published the price and everything.
Yeah, we covered this on a while back, I think, on our podcast. We still have not got Andrew to sign up for any of it.
Why
disappointingly.
No, it should
we wanted Tarik to sign up.
Yeah.
For it.
Yeah, why didn't you sign up for it?
Why didn't anyone contact me about it?
You know what? We are going to drop them an email.
Yeah, let's do that.
You are going to regret your life choices. Okay, so what's been going on?
Okay, so Adam Shah, better known as 343, he is now standing in for Mineski until further notice. So previously he was in a team called WarriorsGaming, which was based in Russia, of course.
Russia.
Bears.
How did he end up in Russia?
I don't know, but somehow he got recruited there.
Solo meet meet one is over at
Secret. Team Secret. Yeah.
Okay, so at least one of them made it.
Yeah. Yes. He's the only one that made it really big.
Well,
apart from Mushi.
Yeah, Mushi is pretty
Okay, so anyway, so what's going on at Mineski?
So Mineski has a new lineup, but they're not really performing very well.
Okay, what's important here is that Mineski is Mushi's new team.
Mushi's new team, yes.
After leaving Fnatic, I don't know what happened.
He's the new captain. He personally recruited everyone else on the team, and they're not doing very well, to be honest. Because recently Mineski has joined the Summit 6 C qualifiers.
Yes.
And they lost to WarriorsGaming.Unity 2-0.
Ow.
This was in the first round.
Yes. And then they joined the C Kappa Invitationals, and they got defeated by a rookie Malaysian team called Geek Fam.
Oh right.
Okay.
So if you don't know who Geek Fam are,
I don't know who Geek Fam
are. They were
the other event.
Wait, who are they?
Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew.
They debuted at the Mountain Dew Challenge last year.
This sounds vaguely familiar. What happened? Tell us. Remind me what happened. Who are these guys?
Geek Fam went up against WarriorsGaming.Unity in the grand finals.
Oh right, these guys.
But they lost 1-3.
Okay,
And
so
then they
they're actually
kicked
pretty
Mineski
good
around.
in that sense.
Yeah.
Ouch. So, okay, so what can we say from this? I mean, what's going on there?
I don't know. I think Mineski. Sorry. Yes, Mineski. They're still trying to find their place or like trying to fit in with all the new players. I think they're still very new, but doesn't seem very promising. Seeing their results
But
recently.
They didn't actually recruit anyone like noteworthy at the moment, did they? Besides Mushi.
Ah, there was another guy. The
They
CEO
brought
of Mineski.
No. That's the CEO. Yeah, he recruited. he recruited KYXY.
Okay.
Former Orange player.
Okay.
And then he also recruited Extinct. Also
Extinct, okay.
former Orange player. Yeah.
Okay. So they're like, is he trying to rebuild Team Orange?
Not really, because only 3 of them are from Orange. The
Yeah.
other 2 is, let me see, AU and Ninja Boogie. So Ninja Boogie is a Filipino player who used to be in the Filipino scene, and AU is from Fnatic.
I remember hearing he
Yeah.
was. Okay, Fnatic changed so many times. I'm
Yes.
having a hard time keeping track of them.
Even Fnatic's not doing very well now, with QO and what's his name?
Okay, so let's stay on Mineski and Mushi for a moment. So, they're not doing very well, but admittedly, it's still a very new team.
Very new team, yes.
And where are they showing up next? Where did you to play? They didn't make it to the DAC.
No. So we're not sure. I don't think they'll be able to. Maybe they'll be able to go for the KF majors, the qualifiers.
When
I
is
thought
this?
the qualifiers already happened though, no?
Not
It's
yet.
Ah, really?
starting soon, I believe.
Yeah, it's starting soon.
Right.
But,
Okay.
so it's scheduled to happen after the DAC. So it should be starting soon.
Okay, but can we expect to see any Malaysians in KF major
Uh,
right now? Aside from Secret.
WG.Unity said it there, aren't they?
Qualified?
No.
They're in the qualifiers, I believe.
Yeah.
Okay. This is some Malaysians to root for.
So fun fact, there was a brief moment where I told you guys WG.Unity was now known as Bazaar.
Yes,
Right.
I heard this as well. They
Yeah.
changed to Bazaar for a while.
Yeah. And then they even had a sub-unit that was called Bazaar Youth,
Okay,
which is a different team.
they're the kids team.
So along the way, something happened, and
Okay.
now they are known as WG.Unity again.
Okay. So that was a waste of time.
Yes, that was a complete waste of time. What?
I don't know what happened.
Never.
but-
It's Dota 2. This happens. Yeah. Anyway, what's going on with Fnatic?
Fnatic, I think they're in the same position as Mineski. They're just trying to figure out who they are, how can they work together to be, the team that they want to be.
It makes you wonder, because they keep recruiting people from around Malaysia, around Southeast Asia, and we're not doing very well. But when you see like teams coming out of the Philippines, out of Singapore now, Singapore who's the new Faceless?
Faceless.
Yeah, and those guys are coming up really fast
fast,
and really,
yeah.
really well, and they're also a new team.
Yep.
So, I mean, like, where are we going wrong? I mean, the team captains of these two teams are from Malaysia, so where are we going wrong here?
Okay, so most people would say that Mushi is sort of the best Dota 2 player from Malaysia, right?
Okay.
Okay, I will now tell you, based on Isukan compilation, Isukan Malaysia. So they've compiled a list of the top C teams, top C Dota 2 teams.
Yes.
So in 8th place is Fnatic.
Not surprising.
Okay. 7th place, Happy Feet.
Never heard of them. Okay, keep
Which is
going.
a Filipino team.
Okay, obviously.
So 6th place is Geek Fam. Okay, that's
Okay,
Malaysia.
I've now heard of them.
5th place is Mineski.
That's not too bad.
They're still new and haven't
Yes.
fallen that far yet.
Yeah. No, but I mean 5th place is because of the previous team's achievements were
Oh, right.
not necessarily.
This is not the new
one.
Mineski. This
Yeah.
is the name Mineski, I would assume.
So 4th place is also a Filipino team called Clutch Gamers. Coming up quite strong
I like the
also.
name. Clutch
Okay.
Gaming.
And then?
Faceless, which you mentioned just now.
Yeah,
from
Singaporeans.
Singapore. And then 2nd place is WG.Unity. Yeah. So that's a full Malaysian team in second place. So they're quite strong, very very strong. In first place is TNC, who made it all the way
Terms and
quite
conditions.
quite the distance in what major was that?
If I remember, they would no
It's before the Kiev major.
Manila
TI.
region?
No.
TNC did quite well at TI as well though.
Yeah, they
Where is TNC from?
Filipino.
Filipino.
Of course.
Okay, let's put it this way. A large chunk of the really good teams in Southeast Asia right now are Filipino.
Filipinos, yes.
Remember those guys that you hate meeting on pubs? They are
I
better
still-
than you.
I still
They're the
hate
ones who
meeting
own
them.
you now.
Okay, no.
They are better than us.
Pubs are different from professional players.
Yes,
okay?
but where do you think these professional players are coming from? They start in the pubs.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
That's their talent pool.
I don't know, man.
That's how bad we are. Listen, Malaysians, we are worse than the Filipinos.
To be
We
fair,
need to do
they're
something.
always
No, this is
very good
embarrassing.
at Dota, so-
This is embarrassing, guys. But,
You
but
know,
I don't blame them. I mean, when it comes to the Philippines, their gaming scenes, from what I've seen,
yeah,
are very big and they're very passionate about what they do.
Yeah.
yeah.
And they're not just saying, I'm in this for the money or I'm in this to mix. They really enjoy this game.
game.
They really want to do this. And I think it's time to show it.
I mean, it's good that
But it's not saying.
I mean, and Malaysia is still number 2, so
I'm-
we're relatively okay, I guess.
Really?
Well, I mean, number 2 is better than 5.
This is in C. Southeast Asia. It's not global.
but Geek Fam is showing a lot of promise actually. They're really strong.
Well, at least, I
Based
mean,
on their first appearance in Mountain Dew last year.
yeah, but what have they been doing since Mountain Dew?
So they've been joining other smaller tournaments like the Pro Dota Season 6 or something. There are a few smaller tournaments and they've been placing like 3rd, 4th.
So they're like gaining experience in
Yeah.
smaller things
Yeah.
before trying to make it in the big
Doing it
leagues.
for the EXP.
Oh gosh. We're not,
I think he's been waiting all day to say that.
we're not doing that joke. Oh gosh.
But yeah, what else is going on in the Dota 2 scene anyway? Team Secret. Who was in Team Secret again?
Mid one.
Mid one.
Yeah.
The only Malaysian team, I think.
Yes.
Yeah. So I have heard nothing about Team Secret ever since they had that whole drama about payouts.
Well, I think they're trying to lay low a bit. But then
They have been competing.
they have been competing, but they're not as good as they used to be.
Yes, because some of them didn't get paid.
It's a huge motivation.
maybe.
I know. I mean, yes, but come on. After all that drama with the payouts and how the money was used,
Yeah.
and I assume that the name's fallen a bit. That they're not as enthusiastic.
So I guess Team Liquid's being paid quite handsomely because they've been doing quite well recently.
I don't know, but Team Liquid's always been reasonably good.
No, not really. The previous lineup was pretty bad, but ever since Kuroki came in, Team Liquid has been.
Fair enough, but they've managed to qualify for the big tournaments. They've always been there, so you can't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
they're that bad.
Okay, yeah. Makes sense.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, it's like no matter how bad they are, they will always be like in the top 8.
yeah, I mean, as shit as they are, they are still better than most other teams.
Yeah, okay, I agree.
And I think that's going same for a lot of these pro Dota teams.
Yeah.
You can say that even Fnatic's not doing well now. They're still better than a lot of other teams.
Yeah.
It's part of being the pro. So
But even you don't hear Team Empire anymore these days.
Empire is still around.
I think they're gone like tier 2 now.
I have no
Like
idea.
even Navi, they're gone off the map.
Navi was surviving purely on Dendi for several years.
Yeah, and he wouldn't quit. He wouldn't leave the team.
Do you have any idea how much money they were giving him to stay on the team?
No, they were giving him a lot.
Navi was not trading on Dota 2 skill. Navi was trading on Dendi's popularity. Can you argue with that?
No, yeah, okay, but then it's dying down though.
It is, because you kind of have to keep winning.
He
Yeah.
still streams anyway, so
Hmm.
yeah.
The nicest guy in Dota 2.
Yeah,
most
man.
most of these players, most of the players are now live streaming in their free time.
I think it's contractual.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
I mean, you get these banners, things like that. Yeah, I can see it.
So the other day, this weird thing happened. You know Fabi?
Yeah?
from Fnatic.
Is he still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's with QO in there. So he was live streaming. So when I click into the link and the new window opened, he was cross-dressing. He was a girl, full makeup, wig, and a dress, and he's just casually playing Dota. It's the funniest shit I've ever
Please tell me this was April 1st.
No, it's not.
I mean,
Everyone
Wow.
in the comments section was like, what the, you know?
Wow.
it's a gimmick that I would fall for probably. Yeah.
I approve of this.
Like,
I mean, I
is
watch
that-
it just for the entertainment value.
But it's true, you know, this, how people stream. You need to entertain your audience.
Yep.
He's
And
found
you-
his way.
I mean, like, okay, he somewhat looks like a girl, and then, but then when you hear his voice, like, okay, guys, we need to go there.
Oh, wow.
Well,
Okay, let's leave it at that, shall we?
Yeah.
So Dota, Malaysian Dota 2 scene, not very exciting. Kiev major qualifiers are coming up. Actually, no, we glossed over one thing.
Yeah.
The Asian Championships.
Ah,
What happened there?
I didn't really follow the DAC though.
Yeah, it was really quiet this year compared to previous years.
Yeah.
Could it have been because of last year with all their screw-ups?
Maybe, but this year there were quite a few epic matches from DAC, but I can't remember which. I did watch some highlights, but ultimately IG won. Right? Yeah.
Invictus,
Liquid put up a good fight as well, I heard, in DAC.
but it was newbie in the finals.
yeah, newbie versus
Newbie
Invictus.
Oh, nothing special there.
It's always it's
No
China.
upsets at the moment.
Everyone loves China.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
where's Wings?
Oh, you know, they might be one of those one-hit wonders. I don't know.
Okay.
Doing one-hit wonders now.
But they're China, like the Chinese are just really competitive.
Uh-huh.
At the end of the day, it became Chinese versus Chinese.
Mm.
All like even EG got kicked out early on, right?
Mm.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Well.
Okay, so we're gonna leave that there.
Mhm.
We are about at time for this podcast.
Approximately.
Yes, so we'll be back next week.
Yeah.
Probably.
Plenty of exciting stuff.
Probably. I cannot guarantee exciting stuff next week,
Well,
but there will be something to talk about.
Xiaomi is unveiling the Mi 6 next week, so
They are. So hopefully we'll have something to say then.
yeah, hopefully.
Okay, so we will see you next week. Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Bye, guys.